Hello, Kelsey Taylor here. Welcome to another Top List video. Now this week I'm going to be talking about my 5 favorite movies starring one of my favorite actors, Jim Carrey. Now Jim Carrey was my hero growing up, like a comedic legend. He was a very funny actor. He's still doing things, but these are the 5 movies that I consider as his classics, and I know I'm going to leave off a bunch of ones. Of course he hasn't done a lot of great things in the last few years. I don't know. He's done that one Netflix movie I don't know too much about. But these are the 5 movies that I grew up with, that I loved. A few of these are my favorite movies of all time. Some of his funniest roles. And yeah, I'm a Jim Carrey nut. And at number 1, I'm going to say a lot of lines here and there. But we'll see. Now, I do have a few honorable mentions. They are A Christmas Carol, Ace Ventura When Nature Calls, and Dumb and Dumber 2. Those are the ones that could have made on the list, but I decided to just pick one movie out of each certain franchise, like Ace Ventura and Dumb and Dumber. Well, you'll see, and you'll hear my thoughts why I chose them. So here are my top 5 favorite Jim Carrey movies. Number 5.
So they want to get to know me, do they? They want to spend a little quality time with the Grinch. I guess I could use a little social interaction.
Even though I prefer the cartoon over the movie itself I thought was really funny, and Jim Carrey playing as the Grinch is hilarious. I've done a video for my short series, Kelsey Compares. I was planning to do more in the future, just I haven't picked up any certain movies yet. I've done 2 episodes. I've done The Grinch and on Cinderella, the Disney movies. And just watch that if you want to hear my true thoughts on those. Like which one's better, cartoon and The Grinch, and kind of like in a nostalgia critic, old versus new kind of show, but slightly different. My own take on The Grinch. The movie, it's a Christmas classic. It's really weird when you watch it back now. You just want to watch the cartoon over this. I think out of the live action Dr. Seuss movies, I think The Grinch has to be my favorite. Although it's getting an animated reboot later this year, which looks fine. I'll see how that one goes. Jim Carrey plays the Grinch, very funny, and I don't know, he has some really funny lines, and the makeup on him was really cool, and I just think he's so funny in that role. But watch my Kelsey Compares of How the Grinch Stole Christmas, see which one I like the best. Well, the animated one's a classic, and the movie I thought was pretty funny. I saw it when I was a kid. I still watch it almost every year. And it's still hilarious, though, in my opinion. Even though some cheesy in some spots, but I still enjoy it for what it is. Number 4.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? Guys!
This one I never owned on tape as a kid until years later. I think when I watched it all the way through, I don't think I've ever seen it all the way through until I was I don't know, a young teenager or 12-year-old, whatever. But Dumb and Dumber, is a comedy classic. I mean, the chemistry between Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey is so brilliant. The clip I just showed you, how could you not laugh at that? I mean, I think, while I do enjoy Dumb and Dumber 2, I think the first Dumb and Dumber is a really, really funny movie. Very classic and still holds up. The prequel that doesn't have Jim Carrey in or anyone from the original, I didn't care for that one. I just thought it was just dumb. Although Bob Saget was pretty funny in that one. Dumb and Dumber, my 4th favorite Jim Carrey movie. Very hilarious. It's a classic. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Number 3.
Great. Beautiful. Come on, let's go back inside and have a shit.
This is probably the last Jim Carrey movie that I truly loved. I watch it all the time. It's very funny. The cast is great from, not just Jim Carrey, but from Jennifer Aniston, Morgan Freeman, Steve Carell, especially the scene where, Bruce mocks Steve Carell's character, Evan Baxter, while he's on the news. It's very hilarious. I mean, Bruce Almighty is a really, really funny movie, and Jim Carrey did great in that, and it's so hilarious, and a lot of quotable lines like the clip I just showed you. Beautiful. Jim Carrey has a lot of quotable lines that I say on a daily basis. And Bruce Almighty is definitely one of those movies that has a lot of quotable lines. It's just a sweet comedy. I mean, it's so funny. It's like one of those comedies they don't make much anymore. It's great. Check out Bruce Almighty if you haven't. Number 2.
Spoken! It's party time! P-A-R-T. Why? Because I gotta!
I love The Mask ever since I was a kid. I grew up with it. I enjoy watching it all the time. Jim Carrey is absolutely hilarious in this. Not just as Stanley Ipkiss, but as the Mask character. I never read the comic books, but from when I looked at them, they're really gory and almost slightly different from the movie. But from what we got, I thought it was an entertaining film with memorable characters and really, cool special effects. Well, probably they were cool at the time, and they still hold up. I mean, it's a very, very fun movie. Son of the Mask is awful. Stay away from it. It doesn't have Jim Carrey in it. But just because Jim Carrey was not in the sequel doesn't mean it's a very good movie. It still sucks. Terrible effects, terrible acting, and all around. The Mask, if you haven't seen The Mask, it's definitely, I would say a must-see for effects, and especially Jim Carrey's acting. The Cuban Pete scene is classic. It's a lot of quotable lines in that as well. And, I mean, I love that movie so much. One of my all-time favorite films. Now, here's my number 1 favorite Jim Carrey movie, and that is...
We've traveled back in time to save an ancient species from total annihilation. So far, no signs of aquatic life, but I'm going to find it. If I have to tear this universe another black hole, I'm going to find it. I've got to, mister!
Alrighty then. It's one of the lines I say almost on a daily basis. The character he plays in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, as well as in When Nature Calls, there was a direct-to-video sequel that he wasn't in, and once again, is another one of those situations where, even though if he's in it or not, it would still suck. But Ace Ventura: Pet Detective Jr. does suck. The first Ace Ventura: Pet Detective is just hilarious. I mean, the character can be... I remember when I first showed this movie to a friend who has never seen it before. At first, he found the Ace Ventura character to be much of a dick, because if you've seen the movies, you know what I mean. But I guess he's just grown to like the character, I guess. But, he really can be a dick, but, a lovable dick. And somebody, I don't know, not much someone I can look up to in real life, if there's actually a person like him in real life. But, the role Jim Carrey played is so hilarious and really funny, and a lot of quotable lines and really funny moments, and I enjoyed watching that movie. It's a lot of fun. And I recommend you check out that movie as well as When Nature Calls. That one, for a while I used to not like it as much as the first one, but, over time I've grown to like it, although I prefer the first one. It's the one I watched the most. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. Definitely in my top 20 list. And it's really funny, and Jim Carrey nails it in this movie. And, he's done so many funny roles, and, I really got to catch up on some Jim Carrey movies I missed out on. Like a few of them, I find very decent. Some of them I'm not really a fan of, and of course a bunch of them I missed. I hope he comes back in a really funny role like the ones I've listed here, so one can hope. Jim Carrey, my childhood comedic hero, and yeah, when he goes, I'll be there the more. But let me not cross that path. It's probably way too soon. But I hope someday Jim Carrey gets to be another comedy classic someday. Anyway, thank you so much for watching my top list video talking about my top 5 favorite Jim Carrey movies. Let me know what you think of this list, and let me know what some of your favorite Jim Carrey movies are. Roles like the ones I've left out, because I know I've left out a few, but these are the top 5 that I love so fondly with all my heart. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Smoking out of here!